Hello, my name is Chrissy Shaver. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 components of language, which help students learn to read and write. I'll explain why understanding language components is especially important for teachers with students who struggle and with exceptionalities. I'm also going to provide a few strategies that you can use in the classroom to help. The first component of language that we are going to talk about is phonology. Phonology is the study of sounds, phonemes. For example, if you have the words cat and hat, you only have a change in one phoneme or one sound. You're substituting C and H, you're changing them out. So these skills can help children learn better letter sound relationships. It helps them decode words and it helps them become stronger readers. Morphology focuses on the parts of words that carry meaning, so the smallest part of words that carry meaning. For example, the word unhappy. So you have the root word happy and you have the prefix un. So both of those carry meaning. Understanding word parts helps students figure out the meanings of unfamiliar words, and it also builds their vocabulary. It can help with reading comprehension while they're reading a text. The next is syntax. Syntax is the way that words are arranged in a sentence. For example, the dog chased the cat. That's a grammatically correct, complete sentence. Good syntax helps support reading comprehension, and it helps students become better readers and writers. The next, semantics. Semantics is the study of word meanings. For example, the word bark. The word bark can have the meaning of the noise a dog makes. It also can mean that the bark that's on the tree. Learning word meanings improves students' vocabulary and it helps students understand what they read, which gives them better reading comprehension. Pragmatics. Pragmatics is using language appropriately in different social settings. For example, students know when to take turns in conversation, they know how to be polite and say please and thank you. These skills help students communicate with teachers, communicate with other students, and get them ready for their world. Why does this matter for students with exceptionalities? Every student learns differently, and some students may be struggling. Knowing the different parts of language will help teachers recognize where a student needs support, where they are struggling. For example, a student with autism may struggle with social communication. A student who has dyslexia often will have a difficult time with speech sounds. When we understand these meanings, it helps teachers provide the instruction that meets the student needs, individualization, where they're at. A few instructional strategies. The first instructional strategy is explicit phonological awareness activities. The one that I recommend that I've used in the past is Haggerty. In Haggerty, students practice rhyming, blending sounds, segmenting words. It's a short daily activity. It's a phonemic awareness program that helps young students practice listening to, identifying, and manipulating the sounds in spoken words. These activities will strengthen early reading skills. The next is to teach vocabulary through word parts. Introduce common prefixes, suffixes, and root words. Encourage students to use these word parts to determine the meanings of unfamiliar words, especially when they come upon them in text. One of the easiest instructional strategies that I have found that helps students, especially students with exceptionalities, is modeling. Modeling, having students repeat words or repeat sentences when they're incorrect. Having them write sentences, teaching them how to write sentences, model how to write sentences so that students are learning how to speak, read, and write correctly. The last strategy that I'm going to provide is interactive read alouds. Students love interactive reading alouds. It helps you connect with your students and build relationships. Reading books allows you to discuss vocabulary, you're asking questions, you're encouraging students to share their ideas, you're asking them to predict, you're asking them what would you do, what would you change. So you're also teaching them about other literacy components. So read alouds helps build language, comprehension, and communication skills. So in conclusion, the 5 language components that we talked about are phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. All of these play an important role in literacy development. When teachers understand these components and use research-based strategies, they can better support students, including students with exceptionality. Thank you.